Chiefs Priority here, another video. In this video, we're going to get into the Kansas City Chiefs and what they're doing defensively. So the Kansas City Chiefs, they's coming off a draft where they picked a lot of defense. They picked about 2 edge rushers, a safety, a cornerback, and an interior defensive lineman. So the Chiefs are trying to build their defense up, and they're trying to add more depth pieces. And also in free agency, they went out there and signed safety Mike Edwards, linebacker Drew Tranquill, and edge rusher Charles Omenihu. So I like what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. I do like the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. I'm sorry about these clips. These are from a year ago, but I don't really got my phone right now, so I'm just posting whatever I could. But yeah, I really like what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. And I do think with this linebacker room, that's something that's very special right there, because you got Drew Tranquill, who's a very good player with 146 tackles with around 5 sacks. And then you got Nick Bolton, 180 tackles. That's another linebacker. So just them two alone is going to be special to watch. And then you got Willie Gay, who's a very good linebacker. He's fast. He can edge rush. He can do a lot. Willie Gay's versatile. Then you got my boy Leo Chenal, who he just drafted last year. Now, I like Leo Chenal. I think he's a very talented player. And I do think that he's going to go crazy next season. But I don't know, with 4 linebackers, that may not be that easy to do. But I still do think that all the linebackers can have a good season separately. But let's touch on the cornerback room a little bit. So you got Trent McDuffie, who's going to be a stud. I just made a video on him. He's going to be a very good player next season. You got Jarius Sneed, who's coming off a breakout year that can literally do everything. He's like a safety and cornerback in one. Then you got my boy Joshua Williams, who could develop to keep getting better. Then you got Jalen Watson, who was absolutely a stud to get in the 7th round. So the Chiefs are doing very good with the cornerback room, and Nick Jones is looking like another 7th-round stud. And you can never have enough DBs. That's what a lot of people get confused. You can never have enough DBs, right? And then when you got the safeties like Mike Edwards, who's a ball hawk, Justin Reed, who's a very good coverage safety, and then you got Brian Cook, who's in year 2. It's looking good for this Kansas City Chiefs defense, right? It's looking very good. They got a young physical team, and they last year they had a pretty good year. I mean, they started off rough, but they had a pretty good year. Towards the end of the year, they started really shutting people down. They had a crazy playoff run. They shut the Bengals down, shut the Jags down. The Eagles kind of roughed them up, but our offense is so good that it doesn't really even matter. So that's just what I'm saying. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to really realize that their defense is starting to become unfair. You don't want to give Patrick Mahomes a top 5, top 10 defense. That's scary. That's very scary. That's something you just don't want to do. And then when you look at our D-line, like you got George Karlaftis now. Well, we had him last season, but he's going to be like a new player. He's going to have at least 10+ sacks. You got Chris Jones, who's coming off a 15.5 and 17 TFL year. Then you got Charles Omenihu, who had 5.5 sacks with the 49ers, who could develop to at least get 8 to 9 sacks. Then you got FAU, who we just drafted. And you got Keandre Colburn, who I made a video on. So the Chiefs are looking very dominant with their defense right now. And then you got defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, who I believe could finally piece together a top 5 to top 10 defense. And I think that's going to happen this season. So yeah, like to me, it's just scary what this like Chiefs team is doing, because even if you take a little dive at the offense, right, the offense is always going to be top 3, if not the best offense in the NFL, with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, with all these other dominant, versatile weapons on the offense, with that crazy good offensive line. Then you got Andy Reid, so that offense is always going to be top 1, top 2, top 3, right? But something we can never guarantee about the Chiefs defense is that it's going to be top 15. But this year, I actually feel like I could guarantee it. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a top 15 defense, and that's just at worst. At best, top 5. And man, you don't want to see this. I'm telling you, this is something nobody wants to see but us Kansas City Chiefs fans. Why would somebody want to see the most unfair quarterback in the NFL? The dude's a cheat code. He makes sidearm throws. He runs towards out of bounds. Somehow he still throws it over his head or something. This dude is crazy, right? So why would you want to see that, a top 3 or top 5 defense, unless you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan? And that's honestly what us Kansas City Chiefs fans want to see. That's what I want to see. I mean, why wouldn't you want to see it? Like, come on now. You know how much rings that's going to be? Patrick Mahomes with a top 5 defense is something he's never had. Patrick Mahomes is used to being in shootouts because his defense is so bad, or his quarterbacks is drawing PIs to Jamar Chase or penalties. Like, now that we have somebody like McDuffie with Jalen Watson who can go get you a pick, this defense is going to be fun to watch. And my favorite, what I'm on the lookout for is Mike Edwards and Jalen Watson, right? I like that little duo, Mike Edwards and Jalen Watson. I feel like they're going to catch a lot of interceptions and we're going to be hyped this season. And then another thing you got to realize, all them rookies from year one, they're heading into year two, and they're going to be better year two than they were year one. And that's just the truth. So Trent McDuffie's going to improve. Brian Cook is definitely going to improve. Jalen Watts is going to improve. Joshua Williams is going to improve. George Karlaftis is going to improve. This is really looking good for the Chiefs defense. And I can't see Chris Jones slowing down. Why does Chris Jones have to slow down? What reason does he have to slow down? I can't see it happening. If anything, Chris Jones might have even a better season. And then, the video on Keondre Coburn, digs for $12K on that, still going up. But Keondre Coburn, him in the middle, that's just scary. You don't want a big dude like Keondre Coburn, 343 pounds, next to Chris Jones. I mean, you might not even be able to double team Chris Jones like that. And if you do double team Chris Jones, you got to worry about Keondre Coburn. And then there's more threats. You never know, like, is it going to be Omenihu or is it going to be FAU? We don't know. But all we know is they're both going to play. They're both going to get good snaps. And they're both going to rush the quarterback. And then you got George Karlaftis, who's destined for a big year. I mean, if you look at, George Karlaftis was on a little stretch where he didn't get any sacks. He just started getting 1 million sacks. Like, if you take a look at that dominant stretch by George Karlaftis, it makes you think, okay, next season this dude's going to be a monster. That's exactly what I think. I think George Karlaftis is going to take a huge leap. I think he's going to take a huge leap from at least anywhere from 10 to 12 sacks. I think it's possible for him. Very possible. FAU might just be just like George Karlaftis last year, maybe 6.5 sacks, but that's cool. Or Omenihu, I'm really banking on 8 to 10 for him, but I'm not trying to be unrealistic. But I really think our D-line has a lot of hope. Like last year, we had 55 sacks. I get it wasn't from the D-line, it was from all around. But sacks are sacks. That's another thing about Spags. He has all these blitzers now. Sneed, they just drafted Jamari Conner, who's perfect for Spags. Spags love the blitzes, safeties. And I think Jamari Conner is going to be perfect because he could really hit hard. And so I got to give credit to what the Chiefs are doing, man. They're just doing a lot. Like, it's really looking very scary for the league. I even like the UDFA pickups they made. I mean, Cam Jones is a very solid linebacker. That was a good move right there. I don't think he's going to make the roster, but I know this is a video all about defense, but we even got to talk about the offense. Like, even what they're doing, like, why is their team so good and so well-rounded? Like, look at the offense. We have a very good rushing attack with running backs that can do different type of stuff, right? Then we have the best quarterback in all of football, debatably the best of all time. Then we have Travis Kelce, who's a top 2 tight end of all time. Him and Gronk, they're battling for who's going to be the greatest tight end of all time to go. Then you have a very good offensive line, which is going to be like at least a top 10 unit, a top 3 unit in the NFL. So I'm liking this. I'm liking what they're doing. They're building a dynasty. They want to win. They want to win more championships. They want to go to the Super Bowl again. And that's honestly what they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, football, the game is one of the line of scrimmage, right? It's really one of the line of scrimmage. So when you got dudes like Chris Jones, Karlaftis, and all them dogs on the D-line, you're going to be successful. All them dudes can stop the run. That's another thing. The Chiefs are very good at stopping the run. And if you stop the run, it's going to be pretty hard to win a game against you because running is a key ability to have as a team or as an offense. And if you can't run on a certain team, you're going to have to pass. You just got to pray your quarterback is good because if he's not, it's going to be bad for you. So everything the Kansas City Chiefs are doing is right. They're doing everything right. They're going out there. They're getting a good defense to not make Mahomes be Superman. They're getting a great O-line. I just wish they'll get some more receiver threats, but we're going to see what Rashee Rice and all these breakouts can do. But actually, they actually have been talking about getting another wide receiver. I'm going to make a video on that. I'm going to make a video on that. D-Hop and Mike Evans. We're going to do a D-Hop and Mike Evans video. Yes, that's definitely what we're going to do. Yes. But yeah, we're creeping up to the final minutes of the final seconds of the video. So yeah, we're going to wrap up what we were saying. So basically what we were saying was the Chiefs, their defense is going to be top 5 next year, and that's going to be very scary for the league. And the league is honestly not ready for that. We also talk about how good their offense is already. So adding a top 5, top 10 defense to that is very scary. And we talk about the game is one of the line of scrimmage. So very good O-line, very good D line. So the Chiefs know what they're doing, man. It's been your boy, Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.